The first month I paid myself on purpose from my horse business, I felt two things at the same time: proud, terrified. Because for years I'd paid the hay guy, the vet, the farrier, the landlord, the card processor, staff if I had team, and then said, whatever's left is mine. Most months, that was nothing. This is the story of the first time my clients stopped doing that and what changed when my business started paying them on purpose. If you run a horse business, trainer, body worker, practitioner, tack shop, or barn, and your paycheck is whatever's left after everyone else, you're not alone. You're just in a model that guarantees you're always last in line. This video is about what to do instead and why it works, not a 47-step spreadsheet tutorial. If you're new to my channel, my name is Curtis Andriotti, founder of the Horse Business Profit Club. After working with over 2,000 horses and many horse businesses over the last 9 more years, I created a simple, stable profit system so horse people can feel financially safe without adding more horses or more hours. My owner pay system was simple. Money came in, bills yelled. I put out the loudest fires. If the account wasn't empty, I'd pull some cash for myself and call it a win. This is most of my clients. They felt humble. I'm the owner. I should sacrifice. The horses and clients come first. But in reality, they'd quietly decided everyone is a real bill except me. And every month that went by reinforced this story. Their business can't really afford to pay them. Maybe they're just not good enough yet. And someday when I'm bigger, they'll take a real paycheck. Someday never shows up on its own. So this is the conversation that flipped it. A mentor asked me, if your business hired a trainer or manager to do everything you do, would you tell them, I'll pay you whatever's left? Of course not, I said. They'd quit. And he nodded. If you wonder why you want to quit every 3 months, then he said, if your business can't afford to pay you something on purpose, what you have is not a business. You have a very stressful hobby that pays other people. And that hurt, but it was true. Now, I didn't have them start building some perfect compensation plan. I had to make one decision. I'll treat my owner pay like a bill, not a bonus. And that meant 3 things. They picked an enough for now number, not a dream lifestyle, just if the business paid them X dollars every month, they'd feel safer and less resentful. It was a smaller than what they wanted, but it was real. 2, they put that number on the same mental list as hay, rent, and insurance. Owner pay moved from the bottom of the page, if there's extra, to the expense side: hay, fuel, rent, insurance, owner pay. Now the question became, what has to change so that this business can afford all of these? Instead of, how much of myself do I have to sacrifice this month? 3, they accepted that something else had to give. Once owner pay was non-negotiable, they were forced to see which services were underpriced, which clients only worked when they were undercharging or overgiving, and which costs they were carrying that didn't matter. They didn't have a perfect how to, but they had a clear why. If this business can't afford to keep them, it can't afford to exist like this. The first month, they actually paid themselves on purpose. It wasn't a huge amount. These were my clients, but it was the same date, the same figure. What changed after they started paying themselves first? When they made themselves owner pay a bill instead of a bonus, 5 big things shifted. Their decision stopped being desperate. Before, they'd say yes to almost any client or offer because they were secretly hoping this time there'd be something left. But once they knew they're paying themselves first, once they knew they're paying themselves X dollars on this date, no matter what, they started asking, does this client rate or service actually support that? And desperation turned into filtering. They finally saw which parts of the business worked. And when owner pay was in the math, some things that looked fine on paper suddenly didn't. If this was helpful and you want help actually putting these numbers into your own barn or business, here's your next step. I run a private community called the Horse Business Profit Club, where I walk horse business owners through this step by step with simple tools and weekly live help. You can join us today. Just click the link in the description or go to school.com/horses. Inside, you'll get the profit calculators, pricing templates, and support to add an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month in profit without adding more horses or more hours. And if you jump in and decide it's not for you, there's a simple 14-day money back promise. So if you're tired of guessing and just checking the bank account, tap the link for Horse Business Profit Club now, and I'll help you apply this to your barn. Certain services only broke even when they paid themselves zero, and some clients were only great because they were effectively discounting their time to nothing. And that forced them to fix pricing packages or stop doing certain things. I look forward to seeing you in there.